Alrighty guys, I'm Casey and welcome to a brand new episode of our Minecraft survival world. In the last episode, we took an unnamed settlement, we gave it a name, we called it Viridus, and we also added a soundtrack for that settlement. We then built ourselves an oak farm, got ourselves some oak wood, all there and dandy for what we're building, and lastly we added ourselves a bamboo grove around the outskirts of the settlement. Now this episode, well, the first thing that I want to do is get myself a beacon. We don't have one. We have enough iron blocks for a full beacon. I just don't have one. So I need some wither skeleton skulls, and I've been traipsing around the nether trying to get some. The second thing that I want to do is I want to tear down that little cliff face that we've got in Viridus and go about building something in its place. So there are three objectives for this series. I'm going to get myself to finding some wither skeletons. I found this really good nether fortress and I do seem to be coming across clusters of them. One thing that I have noticed that's helping, if you guys are trying to get these as well and you're looking for ways to improve your wither skeleton spawning, I went ahead and I just switched the difficulty from normal to hard, and surprisingly it's increasing the rate that they're spawning at, so I'm getting a lot more. It actually took me quite a while to get both of these. Usually I get really lucky and get either two straight after one another or very close together, or I'll get one very quickly and then spend forever looking for a second one. But on this instance, I've been doing this for about 2 hours now trying to get these, and it's not proven easy. But one thing that I have done is I've gone ahead and I've taken out one of these crossroads here and just increased the rate at which they could spawn, but it doesn't seem to be working consistently. So I don't know if I've just messed this up or not, but this is something I used to do back in the older version of Minecraft, and I don't know if it's still relevant today, but I'm hoping so. And I do keep popping out here. We got even more crossroads. This place has loads of crossroads, and I know that the spawning boundary boxes for wither skeletons are bigger at the crossroads, but they are also all over here. And of course, we've got all of these little pigmen here which are cramping up and capping our spawn caps, so that's going to make it more difficult to actually get some to spawn here. But I haven't had too much trouble. I'm just having trouble now I'm on camera, because of course I'm on camera, so I'm going to have trouble, aren't I? So yeah, I'm going to get to this, and when I've got 3 and I'm ready to fight the wither, I'll bring you on back. Well, things couldn't have gone worse. I mean, I got all 3 wither skeleton skulls. Yes, I did. Then my elytra broke over a lava lake. We fell to our death. We lost everything. Boy, I need to put myself in the corner. No, I'm just joking, guys. I got all 3 with the skeleton skulls and I just hid my stuff in a chest. I was a little bit bored. I tried recording this clip 3 times. 3 times I got interrupted. So I'm blowing off steam by trolling, because that's who I am. Mwahahaha. So we've got all 3 with the skeleton skulls now. It took me about an hour to get the third one, but I'm glad that we've got it now, and I'm glad that we don't have to go through that mess again. I mean, obviously we will have to go through the wither skeleton skull hunt again in the near future, because I do want a separate beacon. I do want a actual work beacon and then a mining beacon, so we've got all 3. But I think that could honestly wait quite a bit of time. I want to set up another iron farm because I don't have enough iron to run 2 beacons. So we are going to wait till we can set up an iron farm before I do go for a second beacon. And it is night time. So let's get some sleepage on here. There we go. So I do definitely want to do that. Now, first task of today's episode is to defeat the wither. I haven't beat a wither in... Well, I can't really say I haven't beat one in a while, because I did beat several in my modded world. But if you've ever played modded Minecraft, wither skeleton hunting is so much easier. You have an item called a cleaver, and basically that has a 10% chance of beheading a mob that it kills. But you can also add modifiers to it that increase that by 10%. Effectively, you can get a sword that will 100% give you the head of a wither skeleton. So we can 100% get them in modded. We can't in here, and plus I've got god armor in modded, so pretty much the wither does next to no damage to me, if any at all. I don't have that in here, and I did change this difficulty to hard to make wither skeletons spawn more, or at least I don't know if it's a placebo effect, but I certainly feel they spawn more on hard. So I changed it to hard, and I've decided I'm actually going to leave it on hard. I don't want to play on normal. I never really like playing on normal. I just always mean to change it, but I always forget. So now that I've remembered, I'm going to keep it there. I'm not going to lock it because I don't like being locked in anything I play. I like having freedom, and I just feel like I don't have freedom. So this is what I've got ready for the fight. I've got a chest plate here. I've got some milk buckets and a totem of undying. I don't think we're going to need the totem of undying, but it's certainly worth having. I don't know how this thing works. I don't know if I have to have this in my offhand. If so, then I'm going to have it in my offhand. I've got a really good bow that I used to beat the Ender Dragon with, which I think I've accidentally... Oh, no, it's here. So I'm going to grab myself some arrows so we can at least shoot the Wither down while he's flying. I don't think that's going to be too much of a problem. But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to fly so many blocks off. We're going to fight the Wither in a cave. Yes, we could do this in the nether. We could trap him in the roof. But I don't want to do that. I actually want to fight him legit. But not in an open area because that's just too much messy. I've fought them in open areas before. They just fly off. They just fly off. And it's annoying. You chase them down. So I'm going to get to that place when I'm ready to fight the Wither. I'll bring you on back. Before we go ahead and kill the Wither, I want to repair up some of my gear. Now, I've already done half of this, but I thought I'd bring you in just to show you. And we're kind of getting repelled. I think there's that many skeletons here. There's actually not as many as you would think. Let's put that in the offhand. We're just going to repair up all of these. Well, guys, here we are. Everything pretty much in hand. Now, if you're going to fight the Wither yourself, I strongly advise that you do a little bit of prep before you fight it. This is where we're going to be fighting the Wither. I want to be over here where it's safe. This is our safe spot over here. This is where our entrance to the surface is. We've got a little bit of a staircase going on that leads us all the way up. There's a couple of prep things that you want to do. I did dig this way to try and find a tunnel, but I ran into lava, so I forgot that way. So we're going to pop a bed down. Even if it's not night time, you can still reset your spawn point now. I'm going to chuck a shulker box back there just to dump most of this in. What I don't need. I don't need the extra of that. I forgot my Totem of Undying. No, I didn't. So the Totem of Undying does indeed need to be in the offhand. I didn't put the arrows away today. Nope, I didn't. I got them on me. I've got the Wither skeleton skulls. So, one big thing. Let's get rid of this Elytra. As cool as the Elytra is, I don't want to be wearing it. I actually want to be wearing this. And I'm going to switch to this looting sword. Even though this one has looting on it, this has sharpness, this has smite, so we're going to do more damage to it. This is called the Wither Slayer. It's also the one I use for Wither skeletons, just because it's got smite on it. So if you've never faced a Wither before, it's dead easy to do. All we do is we build a T formation with soul sand. I am curious if soul soil will work in the new update. I haven't actually looked too much into that. Then we pop down a Wither skeleton skull, another Wither skeleton skull, and I want to have my stake on hand, and that one. Step away from him because he is going to explode once he fully forms. We've got to be a bit careful of that. We don't want that to happen to us, do we? No. That's going to be very, very bad. It's going to give us a very bad day. And then what we're going to do is he's got ahead and he's getting away from us. We want to be careful. I don't want to die. I can't go backwards, and I don't know what my health situation is. Oh, geez, the health situation is bad. Let's get away from him a little bit. I don't want him to get too far up and ahead of us. Oh, he's right there, look. Okay, so now he's actually... Is he immune? I feel like he's not, but he should be. I think it's halfway that he gets immune to us. Okay. I do notice that the wither effect from the wither actually lasts a lot longer. Okay, now he's gonna start repelling our arrows to us, which is bad because that means we gotta get in with our sword. Which does mean that we gotta get in close. Okay, there we go. Oh, we do mass amounts of damage to him. Just look at that. A smite sword for the win, and we've got no added effects. Oh, check that out. That was a super easy fight. It was a little bit tough, don't get me wrong. I mean, it wasn't a cakewalk like I was kind of hoping, but it was a lot easier than I was expecting. You know? I mean, check that out. That was an easy wither fight. That was a cool wither fight. That was easy. But then again, trapping him in like an underground cavern like this is actually really easy. Although, I was watching Pixel Riffs earlier on today. I was watching a stream, but he was saying that don't do this on the Bedrock Edition. This might be a bit more difficult on the Bedrock Edition. Which has got me curious if it actually is or not. It probably is. He knows what he's talking about. But it's one of those things that I like to experience myself. We didn't actually die, which is awesome. We've still got our Totem of Undying. So now I'm going to get us back to our place. Now, I'm not entirely certain how I craft a beacon. It's been that long. I am curious, to say the least. I think I'm going to need more obsidian. But I've got an idea in my head of how it's done. It's been a while, so I think I remember it. I believe it is 3 obsidian, then nether star, and then we encase it in glass. Yes, it is. Brilliant. So let me grab some iron blocks. We'll grab 3, and we'll also grab some iron to go ahead and set this thing off. I'm going to put this down in our new village in Viridus. I'm going to pop this down there. I'm going to set this up in Viridus because I do want to take that mountain down. So when I'm over there, when I've got it set up, I'll bring you on back. There is the beacon in all of its glory, and this beacon is super useful in a lot of different ways. Now, I'll give you a quick tutorial on how the beacon works. Basically, once we've got this thing here, you see me craft it up in the last clip. If we right click it, you'll see we've got all different kinds of powers. Now, you'll notice this pyramid here. We've got the beacon, which is the gold bit, and then these like emerald blocks or like greeny blocks below it are the layers. So this is 1 layer, 2 layers, 3 layers, and 4 layers. And of course, we are being interrupted. Why would we not be interrupted? Jeez, zombie. Yeah, I don't even want that. It smells of you. Actually, it's going to drive me crazy. Let's pick it up. So, when you've got these levels, you can select what you want. Different ones do different things. You can pretty much figure out what they do, but we want haste and then haste 2. And for haste 2, we need a full level beacon. Now, this must be full blocks. You can't actually just, if you look underneath here, I'm not going to do it because it means me redoing that. But this is full 9x9. All the blocks underneath these blocks are indeed full. It's not hollow. And this takes about 2.5 stacks of pretty much whichever block that you want to use. Now, it does have to be either iron, gold, diamond, or emerald. And I do believe that netherite works as well, but that's in an upcoming update. So unless you're playing in snapshots and have spent a lot of time mining that stuff, you're probably not going to be using one for a beacon base. But it would be nice to have one just to be flashy. But yeah, anyway. Back to the matter at hand. The reason that we've got haste 2 is because it's going to make tearing this mountain down super easy. Because what we can do is we can go up here and any stone we can just like insta-mine. Boom. Like so. So I'm going to get to tearing this down. I'm going to attempt to do a time lapse. We'll see how that works out. And when it's done, I'll bring you on back. Welcome on back, folks, and I've managed to bring it down somewhat some of the way. This has taken me about 24 hours. I don't know why it's taken so long. I've just sort of been working on it and watching a couple of YouTube videos in the background. But I haven't been able to work on it for 24 hours straight. Obviously, I've had to sleep. I've had about 4 hours of that was spent editing yesterday's Minecraft adventure video, achievement hunting video. So I haven't been able to completely work on this as much as I want. But it's getting really late in the day now. It's nearly 9 o'clock where I live. And I'm off to bed at 10, so I don't have enough time to finish off all of the objectives today. Part of me wanted to bring this back and work on this wall, and also just sort of work on some of this area back here. I wanted to really bring this to be more immersive into this area, and I think I'm not gonna do that in this episode just because of time constraints. And I kind of want to talk a bit about where this series is going, like the future of this series, because I've been thinking a lot today about this series. And the first thing is, I love this world and I really like this world, and this world is going to continue. Don't get me mistaken on that. But I kind of want to start a new era because we are sort of rebirthing, if you will, this series. And I was going to think about a season 2. I think that might be a good thing to do, which is kind of what I'm thinking. But if I do a season 2, I don't want to go off and start from scratch somewhere else in the world, because we've finally got ourselves a lot of stuff. We've got ourselves a beacon, which is awesome. We've got ourselves all of these tools, and I do definitely want to keep them. But at the same time, I do want to start somewhere new. I do want to move away from this old area and move into a new area. That's definitely something I want to do. And I've flown around this area here, and I've thought about various different kingdoms. I've thought about the elven one, the orc one. I've thought about all different things like that. And just the areas around us are desert, savannas, and jungles, and they're not really that good. We've got a few plains, but I think I want to pick another area somewhere out in the world, quite a distance out in the world, somewhere that sort of fits exactly what I want to build for this kingdom, and then start building a new kingdom and just a new era of the channel. So I think what I'm going to do is we're gonna end season 1 here. I think that's what I want to do. I want to end season 1 on this episode, just because this is so much of the old stuff, and I definitely want to start like a new era forward. And what I'm gonna do is, starting this new era forward, is I'm only going to take 1 shulker box full of stuff with me. I'm not going to take a bunch of resources. I'm not going to take all of that. I don't mind regathering resources. But what I am going to take is my beacon. I'm going to take my armor, my equipment, and that will probably be it, and 1 shulker box. I think I'm going to leave the rest here. So I'm going to do that, and in the next episode, we're going to have a brand new start somewhere else in the world. And I think that's pretty much what I want to do. So episode 50, it's not going to be a world tour. I know I usually do it. And technically season 2 episode 1 will be episode 47. But I'm also going to stop naming the episode numbers at that point. I'm just going to use different things. And that's just the way that I want to go forward with this. Because I want to build something that I'm inspired to build in. And something that makes me feel like I really want to play this game. And I'm enjoying this world. I'm super happy to have this world back. But I don't know, maybe it's because of the 9-month gap between the episodes. I'm struggling to really get into any of these builds that we've already got. Like, I've got really cool ideas for new builds, and I just can't seem to find the right place for them around here. I've looked around here, and I don't know, it's just this area is a really bad area, and I don't want to start over in this world, and I don't want to start a new world because I really want to keep to one world. But to do that, I think I need to find the right area. And you know, I've spent a bit of time in this world. I've spent a bit of time bringing this mountain down. We've got a bunch of resources. But I really don't mind going and finding a new starting area in this world and just having something new to usher in a new era of the channel. And I think that's what I want to do. It's definitely what I want to do. And I've had a really long think about it. And there's lots of reasons for it, but I don't want to end this series. So we are going to go with Minecraft Survival, but we're going to just call it Season 2. And we're gonna build up something new. I want to do that Elven/Orc kingdom that I've been talking about. I don't know if it's going to be an Elven and an Orc. I definitely know it's going to be an Orc kingdom or a Goblin kingdom. Something evil. And then we're going to have a good force as well facing off against it. And I think that's going to be really, really cool. But I really want to build the Orc Kingdom in a swamp. I think the colours of a swamp will lend itself to the Orc Kingdom. And the Orc Kingdom isn't something that I'm going to start building right away. It's actually not going to be something that we're going to start building for a few months yet. Or maybe a couple of weeks. I don't know. Because the materials that I want to use for the Orc Kingdom are the new nether ones. And I don't want to play in a snapshot ever since one of my worlds got corrupted. I don't want to do that again. So I'm going to stay away from stuff like that, from snapshots, but I definitely want to use them in it. So I'm going to wait till the nether update is out and then work on it. So if I got an empty shulker box, this one's got stone in it. And, you know, just sort of work with that. Let me take all of this back. So yeah, I think I'm going to call this episode here, guys, and we're going to start a brand new season to sort of usher in a new era of the channel. And I'm looking so much forward to it. This world is not going anywhere. I don't want you guys to think we are going to come back to this area. We are going to build up some more things. We are going to finish these 2 kingdoms. I just want to work on something that I'm inspired to work on and that I'm motivated to work on, because I think that's going to make for the better content. Now, I do have every shulker box and I do have all of my beacon stuff. Yes. So I'm going to get a shulker box together, and in the next episode, we'll start somewhere new. But guys, that is going to do it for this episode. If you've enjoyed this series and this season, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps out the channel. I really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like. And one last time, this world is not going away. We're just going to have a semi-fresh start. A building fresh start. That's what it is. It's not a full restart, but it's just a building restart, you know, somewhere else. That's kind of what I want to do. I know I said a couple episodes ago that it wasn't what I wanted to do. You know, I don't want to reset from beginning. I don't want to start with absolutely nothing. I do definitely want to keep some of the things that we've really worked hard for. But at that same time, I want something that's going to be part of this new era of this channel. And I think that I could get the best of both worlds by doing this. So guys, that's going to do it for this episode. If you enjoyed the video, again, I'm doing my outro twice. But hey, I'm allowed to. It's my channel. If you guys enjoyed the video, please do consider leaving a like. It really helps that channel. Really do appreciate it. So please do leave that like. And click subscribe here if you want to see more from me, guys. I'm Casey. I want to thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.